You know the Challenger shuttle disaster that happened in 1986? Some people don't believe it happened. Let's explore this. So on 28th January 1986, a crew was headed to space on a mission to deploy a satellite, study Halley's Comet, and feature the first civilian in space. And this is the Challenger space shuttle that I am referring to in this video. But first, let's take a quick look back to all the missions that preceded the Challenger disaster. The first one that NASA had in place was called the Mercury program, and it occurred between 1958 to about 1963. And the goal for this program was to put the first American in space and return them safely. The second program was called the Gemini program, and it occurred between 1961 to 1966. The goal for this program was to test space travel techniques necessary for going to the moon. The third program, which is probably the most well-known, was the Apollo missions, which was held between 1961 to 1972. And obviously the goal for this program was to land humans on the moon and bring them back safely. The fourth program was the Skylab program from 1973 to 1974. And this one was America's first space station mission. The fifth one was held in 1975. It was the Apollo-Soyuz project, where it was Cold War cooperation between America and the Soviet Union. And then began the Space Shuttle era in 1981 with missions that included the Columbia, Challenger, Discovery, and one mission with the Atlantis shuttle. There were a total of 17 shuttle missions before the Challenger disaster occurred, which would have been the 18th. Now we're going to have a look at what happened during the Challenger disaster. So on board were 7 crew members: the commander, pilot, physicist, and machine specialist, electrical engineer and mission specialist, aerospace engineer and mission specialist, as well as payload specialist, and a high school teacher from New Hampshire who was chosen to be the first civilian in space, Christa McAuliffe. She was to conduct at least 2 lessons from orbit and then spend the following 9 months lecturing students across the US. The goal was to highlight the importance of teachers and to interest students in high-tech careers. These people were more than astronauts. They were educators, pioneers, and parents. So launch day finally arrived, and it was cold. Unusually cold. A cold, icy spell had moved over the night before, and it was just 36 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 2 degrees Celsius, at Cape Canaveral. Ice had formed on the launch pad, but still the countdown continued. The shuttle launched, and 73 seconds later, everyone was staring at the Challenger up in smoke and falling to pieces. The cause of the explosion was tragically simple. The solid rocket boosters are sealed with rubber rings, which are called O-rings, designed to contain the fiery thrust. But in the cold, rubber hardens. One O-ring failed, hot gas escaped, it ignited the external fuel tank, the shuttle disintegrated over the Atlantic Ocean, and it was broadcast live with millions, including school children, watching it happen. The very unfortunate thing about it was the warning signs that were there. Engineers from the company behind the boosters begged NASA to delay. They knew the cold could prevent the O-rings from sealing properly. They said that if they launched when they'd planned to, they stand a 1 in 2 chances of losing the vehicle. but management overruled them and the launch went ahead. It was ultimately a decision made under pressure from politics, media, and pride, because prior to this they kept postponing the launch. After this, the shuttle program was grounded for nearly 3 years. NASA redesigned its boosters, re-evaluated its protocols, and relearned humility. But the memory of Challenger and its crew would forever mark a turning point. But even in tragedy, there are those who choose to dishonour truth. Some flat earth theorists and conspiracy communities claim the Challenger disaster was a hoax and that the crew never died or never existed.
It turns out that 6 of the 7 are still alive and kicking today.
The crew members of the Space Shuttle Challenger mission are still alive.
So I want to be very clear about this. This is not skepticism. It is disrespect. It's disrespect to the families who lost their loved ones. It's disrespect to the engineers who fought to prevent it. And it's disrespect to the truth. The Challenger crew dared to go beyond Earth's boundaries. They paid the ultimate price for exploration and for education. And in doing so, they became part of something so much bigger than just tragedy. So if you come across or hear skeptics saying things like they don't believe the Challenger disaster happened, or that those who lost their lives didn't even exist, please call them out on it and let them know how disgustingly disrespectful they are, because that needs to stop ASAP. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and learned some new things if you didn't already know about it. Let me know in the comments if you did. Thank you so much for watching and supporting Star Stuff. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe for more interesting videos. Cool beans.